How you doing? I'm Gerald from the ISC. I want to touch on something here. Let me bring this around where I can see myself a little better. Um, you know, I once read, the Ten Commandments, and where it says to honor your mother and your father, so that your days may be prolonged on this earth and everything. The Apostle Paul even says it later on in his writings. Um, I used to take that for just what it said, honoring your mother and your father. And I used to think that as a young man, I used to thought that meant to honor them in a way that is pleasing to them, to be respectful to them, to yes sir, no ma'am, yes ma'am, you know, to handle yourself in a way when you're out in public away from them that would bring honor to them, to please them. And in a sense, that is correct. But the more I got to thinking about that, and the older I've gotten, the more it's become deeper. And I just want to share this little nugget with you. I lost my mother and father at a young age. And, and I always thought, I don't think I'm going to live that long, because I never really got a chance to really honor them. And as I got older, to a point to where I did really start to learn how to honor them as my parents, and do as they would want me to do. They had passed on and stuff. And so I was kind of ashamed of how I used to be, how mean I was at times and stuff, as a person, just in general, not really to them, but I always tried to show them honor the best way I could and to make them proud. But I think it's much deeper than that, because I was reading where Jesus was, he was setting out on um, near the ocean on the shore, and then the multitudes came and stuff, and he had to get into the boat, and he started teaching to a great multitude and stuff. And then all of a sudden Mary and Joseph and his brothers and stuff, and his mother and everybody showed up, and the disciples were, they come along, they were like, hey, your mom and your brothers and stuff are here, and this and that. And he pretty much looked at them and says, who is my mother and my brother and my sisters, my father? But those that do the will of my Father which is in heaven. So see, that even that takes it to a whole nother level there in itself. And then let me take another step here. Even if you've lost your mother and your father at a very young age, as I said, um, to honor the values they instilled in you, to live life as you should, honoring God, to to make them proud, because they can still see you. I believe God still watches down on you every second of every day. His name is El Roi in Hebrew for the God who sees me. And so to honor your mother and father, I believe that is a lifelong commitment of continually doing what they would want you to do, to carry on their legacy, to carry on their and family name, and to bring honor to it, to be able to walk with your head held up high and knowing who you are and who your mother and father is. And no matter how badly some of you may have been treated, for my dad at times when he got to drinking was a very bad person, and my wife has often asked me, what makes you love him so much? Well, I don't know at times, to be honest with you, but I think God instilled something in me to honor him, to love him regardless. And, so I think it's just much deeper than just while they're alive being a good little boy, a good little girl, and just doing as they say. I believe it is carrying on a legacy of, of family values that are godly, that bring honor to everything they ever stood for while they were on this earth, and everything your Father in heaven stands for. So I think it's way much deeper than I first thought, and I just wanted to share that little nugget with you and pray for me. Um, Lord knows I need it. I felt a little distant lately from Him than I usually have, and I haven't read as often as I should have been reading my Bible. And I don't mind admitting my sins to you. Um, so, I ask God now to forgive me for those sins in front of the world. I don't care. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of God. And that's another way I feel that I'm honoring my father and my mother and honoring my Father in heaven and my God, Yahweh, and Yeshua, Jesus. So, anyway, think on these things, consider what I've said, but I think it's much deeper than just reading it, word for word and taking it at face value. It's much deeper than that. So, give this some thought. Good day and God bless you.